So we're talking about UFC 214 that just happened yesterday, Saturday, July 29th, 2017, from Anaheim, California. Headlined by John Jones and Daniel Cormier, their rematch.
Best card of the year so far, or at least on paper.
Yeah.
Title
most
fights.
stacked card, pretty much. A bunch of big names.
Bunch of other big names all the way through it.
Yeah.
Former champs.
Three title fights
Title
to end
contenders.
So let's get it started. Overall, I thought it was a good card.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Only one really boring fight.
Really, really boring fight.
Thankfully, it didn't headline the card. So start off with the Fight Pass prelims. Starting with Joshua Berkman versus Drew Dober. This is a pretty quick start to the night. Got a lot of filler after the very first fight.
Yeah, and this one, as we were watching it, I was right in the middle of saying that Berkman's about to get knocked out. I just didn't get the knocked out part out.
Yeah.
And he fucking flatlined. It was pretty one-sided.
Not a lot happened.
First round knockout.
Yeah. I mean, he had him, some of it, half of the fight was he had him pushed up on the fence, trying to work for stuff, but couldn't really get anything. And hit him with a fucking, was it overhand?
I thought it was
a
overhand.
left. It was a left that went over the guard.
It was a left, and it went right behind his guard.
Yeah, knocked him the fuck out.
And he went
quick
stiff.
Yeah.
And
So
you picked Dober.
Good win for Dober. Quick knockout. So moving on to the next fight, Eric Shelton versus Jared Brooks.
The Monkey King.
The Monkey King. The grappling king in this fight.
This was
a lot of takedowns.
This was a back and forth fight. It ended up being a split decision.
Yeah.
Brooks was pretty tenacious, but Sheldon was landing some pretty good shots.
He was able to keep it standing in the last round and able to land a lot of stuff. Brooks, dominated. Well, the round that he dominated, because it was kind of one of those things where they each got a round, and it's like, who knows with that middle round.
But he had more takedowns.
Yeah.
Definitely landed less strikes, but
just controlled it more. It was just too little too late for Shelton. But good fight nonetheless. So moving on to the feature bout for the Fight Pass.
So with that one, we're
preliminaries.
1-1 because I had Brooks.
We're on our picks so far. This one, I picked Albu, who was a shadow person at the time. Alexandra Albu versus Kaylin Curran.
Which is weird because she's fought in the UFC before.
I'm pretty sure that was her
And I'm
debut
pretty-
in the UFC. Albu?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
she
doesn't have
she
the
hadn't
thing.
fought since 2015.
Oh, she's just been out for a
And
shitload
because
of time.
she's not even in Reebok in this.
Right.
But, why wouldn't they have that picture up before? Or maybe Reebok wouldn't let them until after? I don't fucking
They have
know.
shitty web developers.
Something's fucked up there.
Whoever manages their website doesn't know how to do their job. It's pretty basic. It's not updated pretty regularly. Pictures, sometimes they don't have them, and she's fought and she didn't have a picture before.
She's fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
And
so whoever runs the UFC website is horrible at their job.
Yes.
Granted,
we still use your website.
Sure.
For our
Yeah,
show.
it's visually it helps. I did not pick Curran because she's only won one fight out of
5.
Then 4, or was it 5?
I thought it might have been 4.
I don't remember. It's just a shitload. She definitely looked better in this fight than her previous fights.
She looked really good in this fight.
Going against the Terminator.
Yeah.
Her first fight in
She's
the UFC.
1 out of 6, her
Yeah.
last 6 in the UFC.
It's, So she'll probably be in Invicta soon. It'd be insane to have that record in the UFC and still, come on, just keep fighting. Keep fighting, cutie.
Yeah.
Albu
was the Terminator.
Yeah, just all like eating every punch, not trying to defend at all.
Her neck, like she never ducked her head. She never turned her head.
I don't think she can.
It
looked like
just
it was just
stuck.
Yeah, she got a cramp in her neck and
She's
it's just like All right. Well,
We're just gonna
I mean,
every punch that landed on her, she watched it all the way.
Even her punches and her takedowns, like everything she did was just like
Power.
like not at all like there was no
fluidity.
Yeah, it's just like tight as fuck.
Well, she's a bodybuilder, and that kind of is the MO for that. It's just tightness.
I mean, she's
got power though.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, not enough to really. I mean, she didn't really have Curran. They were hard hits.
Yeah,
but she never really had Curran hurt necessarily.
No.
Towards the end, Curran was tired because she'd been hit so many times in the head.
Albu's face was fucked up.
Yeah, she got her nose broken in the first, or it started bleeding anyway in the first round. I mean, Curran was hitting her with some stuff, but it's just she's going against just a stick of meat,
a Russian, fucking meat stick.
So interesting to see Albu fight somebody higher up in that weight division. She'll probably get found out.
Interesting to see if she develops any head movement.
She pulled guard for no reason in the first round
and wasn't phenomenal.
She didn't do anything.
Well, she tried for that leg lock.
Yeah, I mean she was
close, but it wasn't.
She was able to handle herself in the scrambles and get back to guard, but it's not like It's not like somebody like T-City who destroys people.
It was
off
out of
his
nowhere.
back.
She was winning the standout.
Yeah,
and pulled guard.
And
I was like,
it was like they clinched up, and she just like decided to just hold on and go down. It was so weird.
Bad game plan.
Horrible game plan.
Bad head
Horrible
movement.
Game plan.
Still gets the win.
Head movement. Yeah.
So with that,
interesting to see how she does in her next fight. But she's never she has so much to do before she gets close to a belt.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna receive punishment the whole time.
Could you imagine how Joanna would fuck her up if Curran
she'd get destroyed.
If Curran pieced her up like that?
Dude, she's gonna get destroyed by a ton of chicks way before she even thinks about fighting Joanna. I would almost think Carla Esparza would beat her. Just
takedowns.
Yeah, I mean, and better technique on the feet too.
Albu's, I would say 4 out of her 5 takedowns, head and arm throw.
Yeah, they're just like
muscled it too.
Yeah, most of them were muscled. Yeah,
grunting as she did it.
Yeah. So that was the feature bout. Albu wins it
2-1.
Yeah,
still on her picks.
Curran did look good. If she goes to Invicta, I'm sure she'll
be the champ or something.
I mean, she'll get better and maybe be the champ. I'm sure if she wins, puts a few together, they'll just like, come on back. You're not a.
You're still
record
cute,
isn't
and your record's better.
500.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the first prelim on FXX. The smartest decision to have a prelim for the biggest pay-per-view of the year. Starting off with Andre Fili versus Calvin Kattar. Yes. Short notice replacement, right? They said.
Well,
it's his debut.
It's his debut.
It's definitely his debut.
He was a shadow person versus Andre Fili.
Yeah.
I went with Andre Fili,
that's the smart decision. Unlike Curran, where it's like, why I can't pick somebody just because
this other girl's 6-0 and doesn't have a picture, but Curran's
only 1
in 5 in the UFC as of right now. Now it's 1-6.
Yeah. So for sure would have gotten Fili, but Kattar, no joke. Fucking from the start of the fight,
dominated.
Looked like he'd been fighting in the UFC the whole time.
Fili landed a few shots. Yeah. Kattar's shots were way harder, way more precise, putting together combinations. Fili missed a lot.
Yeah. I mean, Kattar just looked good, technically looked good, looked comfortable in there, didn't hesitate, and landed big shots.
Got takedowns when he needed it.
Yeah. Good fight for Kattar. Definitely looking forward to seeing his next fight. Absolutely.
Fuck my pickup. So
pretty fun
now
fight
it's
too.
3-1.
So moving on to the fight of the night, Brian Ortega, T-City versus Renato Moicano. What would Renato Moicano do? I think is the Portuguese version of that song from South Park.
Which he's the guy that I noticed before,
he beat Jeremy Stevens.
Yes, but in
his last fight.
I think his last name's Cabrera. Really? Because that's the name on his shorts.
Oh.
But he just goes by Moicano.
Who knows?
But it's just weird to see a different last name on the shorts than what they're
I mean, maybe Reebok got it wrong because they've done
I
that
thought
too.
of that too, but I looked it up after
Yeah.
the first time. I remember.
But yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, fight of the night.
This was a crazy back and forth fight.
Just
Moicano,
punches in the first round.
Yeah, well,
Couple kicks, but mostly
second
punches.
round. First round, I give to Ortega. Edged it out. It was decent.
I mean, it was close.
Moicano looked a little bit slow.
Up until the end of the fight, it was
Second
a close
round,
fight.
Moicano started lighting Ortega up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, putting together a lot of punches.
Yeah, a lot of combos.
A lot of
kicks. He was
combos.
ending with kicks a lot to the body.
Coming with fury, catching him with big hooks.
Yeah.
A lot of jabs. It was crazy. Then Ortega, he was in it the whole time though.
Yeah.
He'd throw him back. Third round, Moicano finally goes for the takedown.
Well, he wasn't him going for a takedown was stupid because he's not the jiu-jitsu guy. So for whatever reason, he wanted to go for a takedown. Ortega's corner was telling him wait half the round and then get that takedown and finish it off.
Yeah.
But Moicano ended up going for a takedown for no reason and
Instantly.
got caught in a guillotine and just
Instantly.
yeah. I mean, Ortega's fucking he's no joke. That's why it's like the fact that he took him down was dumber than fucking Ulma or what's her face pulling guard Albu.
Yeah.
Umo. I saw the letters, but they were just like all four letters that are in that complex name.
How could I do this?
Albu. Albu. Yeah, like him taking it down. I mean, it was basically like he got caught with a punch and got knocked the fuck out.
Well, they were saying Moicano's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but I
Sure.
don't think it's the same level.
No,
It's like-
he's not. He's barely finished. He's got decisions. It was a split decision with Jeremy Stevens. So it's not like
they say
where Ortega has like this is his 7th like submission out of like his 10
This
straight
is
wins or
fourth
something
fight
like
in
that.
a row that he ended in the third round.
Yeah, but all by submissions.
Yeah.
yeah, and mostly I think one arm bar, mostly rear naked choke.
Stand up is looking a
Or
lot
triangles.
better. Good win
It
on
was
Ortega.
a great fight. Yeah, it was a great
I
fight.
think he was out for a while because of a shoulder issue.
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
he looked good.
Yeah, and that was number 8 versus number 9. So
Yeah. Great win. Great fight.
Fight of the night.
Moving
Pick up
on
the bonuses.
to the next fight. Aljamain Sterling versus Renan Barão fighting at 140 catch weight because Barão missed weight
no
in Sacramento and was taken off
yeah.
the TJ Dillashaw
I thought you were
going
gonna say for this one. Yeah. it's
He made weight. Everybody made weight for this one.
Yeah.
This card. But yeah. And Barão had top position for most of it. Or for a lot of it anyway, for the first round. And Sterling was trying to go for some stuff, kind of had a leg in an awkward position.
He seems like the king of awkward positions. Like
Yeah.
there's a couple in this fight where
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck is going on?
True. Yeah, it's very unorthodox grappling and scrambles.
Team Sarah.
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's also known for being unorthodox in how he fights.
But I
Like,
picked Barão. I
Yeah.
thought Barão being able to fight it, like not have to cut all the way to 35.
yeah.
See, he didn't look great at 45.
But he hasn't really looked great
No.
since he lost
no.
the belt.
But I thought, this is comeback fight. Sterling to me hadn't been that impressive.
He hasn't been that impressive, but he's been winning.
He's been
where
winning.
Barão hasn't necessarily been winning,
Yeah.
or even making it to the fight, or making weight for the fight. But yeah,
Yeah,
so not super impressive with Sterling, but
No.
still, I
Things
mean,
were looking
he's
good in the first round.
He keeps looking better.
I gave
from
Barão
his
the
last
first.
Yeah.
And then it just got out of hand after that.
The second round, potentially 10-8. I think 2 judges gave it to him 10-8. Like, all 3 judges were different scores.
Yeah.
But 2 of them gave him a 10-8, which the second round, which wasn't like
One judge
dominant.
gave him all 3 rounds. I didn't think he won the first.
Yeah, he
but
gave them all
he definitely won
3
the
and a
second
10-8.
and the third.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it was, I mean,
But Barão
Good fight.
gassed. He
Yeah.
gassed again.
well, I mean, the second round, Sterling had the top position and wasn't doing a whole lot, but still was, controlling it. I'm sure, Barão's, that's the thing. Barão's, he was known for gassing even when he was the champ. That was his Achilles heel. But yeah, good win for Sterling. Hopefully we get just like people talk about him, or there was the hype when he came in that it's like, he's going to be an exciting fighter to watch.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, like, like T-City.
This
exciting.
fight was the best I've seen him look.
Sure, he's getting better, but it's still like, it's like he's just squeaking out. This one was like more of a lead as far as a win for him, but still, it wasn't like it wasn't fucking blowing my hair back. You know, it's like okay, it was good. It was a good win. It was a solid win. But it wasn't like a holy fuck. Look what he did to Barao.
Now you're up 5-1. This is really not going my way.
But I know how this card with who's fighting at the Co and Coco, or the main and Coco main event are gimmies. So it's like I know I needed a lead. So it was good for me.
Wasn't a gimme.
Yeah, it was. Both of those fights were the John Jones Cormier was more of a gimme than Cyborg.
No.
All right, so moving on to the feature bout for the FXX prelims. Ricardo Lamas versus Jason Knight. Hick Diaz
versus the Llama.
Did really good from the bottom position. A lot of up kicks.
He was,
locked him in. Like Lamas wasn't able to do anything, even though he had the top position, until Knight stood up and didn't protect his chin. And just got fucking
he got
destroyed.
Cracked once, and I think the lights went off, and he was just on autopilot.
Well, once he stood up with his hands down, no defense, and he got hit. That first punch,
and then he
just
kept taking shots. And
I mean, he was trying to. He was in
back
it for a while,
but wow,
it was just a matter of time.
Yeah,
it was a matter of time before it ended up getting stopped. But Jason Knight. Still, I mean, he's going to be. If he comes up and with the guard
fighting number 3, but this is a giant jump.
His ground game is ridiculous. I think he's going to beat a shitload of people. Lamas was a bad matchup and hit him when he needed to hit him.
From the beginning, but I mean, Knight could have pulled something.
But he didn't do once it stood up. That's when Lamas won. He was not winning the fight up until that point.
No, but
he had top position and getting hit with everything and almost.
I mean, he was never. Almost out on anything,
but he never
was threatening.
He wasn't the aggressor in that situation. He was
just
losing
trying to get the fuck
fight.
out.
He was losing the fight from the top position. But once he stood up, it's just Jason Knight, just no defense at all, and it ended the fight. I mean, it was the beginning of the end. But Jason Knight's gonna fucking destroy a shitload of people.
And you would pick Knight, so 5-2. I'm not dead yet.
So moving on to the UFC 214 main card, the pay-per-view event, starting off with light heavyweight bout. Jimmy Manuwa, Volkan Oezdemir. Oezdemir's been knocking motherfuckers out.
First round every time.
And no difference in this one. Came out with...
He went to a decision with OSP, but still won. It was a split decision.
Right.
But still won it. And then he... Mika Serkinov,
he knocked him out.
He murked him, and then Manuwa, who was
supposed to be
the replacement for if either one of
for the main event,
Fat Boy Cormier or Druggy Jones fucking had to pull out. He was going to be in there. Volkan goes in and just dirty boxing when Manuwa has him pressed up against the cage.
Yeah, he just got that tie clinch
and went wham!
Uppercut. Over the top, uppercut, over the top, just constantly until Manuwa just
and then Manuwa started falling backwards.
Yeah,
and Oezdemir shoved him harder, and then his head fucking slammed off the canvas, and then he dropped one more hard punch, and it was over.
Yeah, it was after that flurry of the fucking uppercuts,
40 seconds.
Yeah, it was a super quick fight. Manuwa, I'd love to see Manuwa fight. I'd love to see the person that lost in the main event fight either one of these guys. I'd love to see him fight Volkan Oezdemir, get knocked out again. But interesting. It's nice that at least there's Manuwa and Oezdemir in the picture since Rumble's out.
And I picked fucking Manuwa.
Yeah.
So now it's what do we got? 6-2.
And Oezdemir got performance of the night with that.
I have to win out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, you see me wearing this stupid fucking hat, people, so...
Came down to...
How about this
The
fight?
non-gimme fight. Robbie Lawler versus Donald Cerrone. This fight started off similar to the fucking Manawa fight where Robbie has that tie clinch and he's landing the fucking uppercut.
Then he just starts planting knees into him.
Cerrone was able to like
came out and it was weird. Like he came out as the Donald that we've seen every once in a while that he'll go on a tear and then all of a sudden he just doesn't show up to a fight. And I was like, oh shit.
Except for he survived because he
survived,
doesn't survive.
And then
a
he
lot
got
of those
Lawler
fights.
down.
Yeah. The second round,
and you could tell his confidence by the end of the round was back up. Second round, Cerrone comes out, swanging.
Yeah, he did a lot better
Putting
in the
shit
second
together.
round. Yeah,
a lot of people were upset with this decision. I really wasn't in rewatching it.
No, I mean
because
Lawler always turns it up at the last round.
Didn't really fight the second round.
Yeah,
he just circled around, took some shots, and then in the third, all that he saved up in the second, he poured it all out, and it was enough to. I mean, Cerrone was landing good shots.
I mean, and he hurt Cerrone a bunch of times in the fight.
Yeah,
Lawler was hurt in the second round, but that was. I mean, Cerrone got the second round, first and third. Lawler. But close fight.
The first was super close. Yeah. Because at the end of the round, Cerrone spend
definitely better second round,
the last minute or so on top.
Yeah.
But he really didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And he had taken that huge flurry in the first 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was more.
That first flurry was more than take down and lay on top of.
Yeah. He was just trying to recover.
But a lot of fans just go, well, he was on top at the end.
Sure, but he was on top.
He was.
But that's all he was.
Yeah.
It's not like he was in a dominant position. He wasn't laying down anything. He wasn't fucking threatening with submission. But so he got the takedown and he has control.
He even had side control for a while and really didn't land anything.
It's like somebody that has somebody pushed up on the fence. They're not trying to get a takedown. They're just like, okay, they have control. But that's all they have. It's not like somebody who's got somebody pressed up on the fence, dirty boxing, going for takedowns.
I agree.
That's worth a lot more. But yeah, he did have control, and I mean, if that was the whole fight, then he would have won. But it wasn't the whole fight. Compared to the other things that happened, it was him just trying to recover. But I didn't think it was controversial at all.
No,
I didn't think there were any controversial decisions. I didn't think anybody got fucked.
No.
By the judges. I kept waiting for it to happen because I knew I was winning these fights. I mean, but I was like, this is the only thing.
We got fucked by one fight, but again, we'll get to that later.
I wasn't surprised though. It wasn't that surprising, but we'll get to it.
But with that, you picked Lawler.
Yeah,
so
I won it.
It's done.
I was able.
You don't have to care about
bypass
the last three
gimmies.
Picks.
So that was. I could just enjoy the championship fights. So moving on to the first of 3 championship fights. This one for the female featherweight 145 division. Chris Cyborg versus Tanya Evinger, the 135 champ over in Invicta, and one of the very few people to take Cyborg into the third round.
No, don't get me wrong. She's tough as shit.
Yeah.
She had a really good game plan.
She hit her a few times. She was able to grapple with her.
Once.
I mean, as far as damage-wise, like, people get lit up by Cyborg.
Yeah.
She never, until the end.
She had a really good game plan of every time Cyborg got close, she would lock up in a clinch and go for a takedown.
Because that's her game plan. Wear her down. She's really good wrestler. She was going to be a Olympic wrestler, but they didn't have her weight class. So she's like, that's her thing. She just wasn't able to really... She got
really
Cyborg down for like a second.
She rocks, but
she's fighting 10 pounds over a weight class where she already looks like that at 135.
Yeah, I know, but I was about to say she looks like that at 135,
which is like whatever. I mean, here's the thing: if she comes over to the 135 division over here, there's not that many tough chicks that are going to put her away. I mean, it took Cyborg 3 rounds or 2.5 rounds to put her away, so it's like. But she's gonna destroy some people at 135.
A lot of fucking abuse in that fight. Like
sure, but not as much. I mean, she got finished.
Not as much as the last girl.
People get lit up.
Yeah.
She never got lit up. She had a good game plan, but I'm just saying, after fighting Cyborg, she's not gonna be, and she's not like she's scared of anybody anyway.
No,
she goes back to her weight class. Like everybody at 135 should be pissing themselves and shitting themselves. Because she wins fights. I mean, she's not it's not like she beat Cyborg or really had moments where she could have won
before.
I mean, everybody in Invicta. That's where she's been. She hasn't been.
Yeah, but I mean, she's been in the game forever. So
yeah. Let's see. So she, aside from, that was that no contest. So her last loss was Sarah McMahon back in
she lost to
2011,
and then she lost to Alexis Davis twice.
Yeah, and that's 7 and 6 years ago. So she's been on a run for.
But I mean,
who
did she beat? Anybody of name? Cindy Dandoise. That's the chick with the terrible stand-up.
Irina Aldana.
Aldana's pretty good.
Sarah D'Alelio.
I don't recognize that one.
They're just all Invicta people.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a few
not
that
really
went over.
Yeah. Sure, she hasn't fought, but she just fought the scariest woman in the entire world and lasted longer than most people last with her and looked better.
No,
so
good
it's
on
like,
her.
so I'm saying the other 35 pounders aren't going to be nearly as like dominant as Cyborg in the ring. But you know, so we'll see. I don't know if she's supposed to be staying over in the UFC or if she's going back to Invicta. But
I had picked Cyborg.
yeah, which is the first of two gimmies. Tyron Woodley versus Damian Maia for the co-main event, 170-pound men's welterweight legend, legacy champion of all time, best ever. Tyron Woodley going again to a decision for one of the worst fights I've ever seen twice.
Yeah, I've spent an hour watching this fucking fight.
Oh, my
and it's
God.
an hour I can't get back in my life.
So
you picked Maia.
They have together like this. They have the amount of strikes that people throw in an entire fight, or in a single round. I mean, yeah, they took an entire 5 championship rounds to not throw anything.
Tyron averaged about 11 punches around, and Damian
and horrible
Maia,
accuracy.
maybe like.
I mean,
I don't even care. Damian Maia tried 28 takedowns or 24 takedowns. 21. Sorry, I can't read.
Yeah.
All stopped. He wasn't setting anything up. Like,
well, yeah. He like
this
2
is
rounds.
like a bad performance by both of them.
Sure. Okay. Damian
I
Maia's,
blame it more on
Damian
Tyron.
Maia's. Yeah. It was his fight to win. He just fought not to lose.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
It was same way he fought Wonderboy
At
last
no
time.
point did Maia have an advantage in this fight ever have an advantage, and Woodley never did anything to capitalize.
That's 2 fights in a row he's fought like this.
It's boring as fuck, and I'm not a fan of the first fight with Wonderboy either. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't.
A good fight.
It was okay. There was like 2 rounds. There was any action in a 5-round fight. It was okay. The worst, most boring fight ever.
He's
boring
fucking
fight
himself
ever.
because
I know
he lost the GSP fight. Dana White
yeah.
after the GSP was going to fight the winner. Dana's like, fuck that. You set the record for
the
least.
fans said fuck that. At the end of the fight,
They were
they're like,
chanting
fuck.
boring.
Yeah. They had all
they
their
all had
phones
their
out.
flashlights on
Yeah.
their phones, all waving it like, this is more exciting than the fight. Everyone do this. It's fun.
Yeah.
And everyone went, wow, this is more fun than the fight. Look at all these lights.
I mean, Maia had only one way to win this fight, is to get a takedown, which, by the way, twice Woodley was able to not get taken down because he grabbed the fence. Yeah. So there's that. When like your only path to victory, the guy cheats twice, and no point taken for the I mean, he got warned after the first time, and nothing happened after the second time.
But his fighting as of recently, his attitude.
He hasn't fought. He didn't fight in that fight.
No, I'm saying
he was all feints. It was all feints. He landed 10 punches. It seemed like.
But the way he's been like, oh, the fans don't treat me right because everyone's racist and fucking.
I mean, the company he works for, maybe he experiences racism, but as far as people, he wins the belt, and the first thing he thinks, he's like, this is my legacy. I want money fights. It's like, motherfucker, you just won the belt. You understand that division and how long people hold the belt and defend the belt? They're not looking for super fights off the bet. Yeah.
Any chance of any big money fight. He's lost any chance of headlining a pay-per-view. He will only be a co, if anything.
Yeah. Or it'll
he
be
lost
like
so much money with this one fight. He lost his fight with
all he
GSP.
cares about.
He wanted a super fight with Bisping. That didn't. He tried to get a fight with McGregor.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
Yeah,
no one cares about you, Tyron.
Yeah, he's like, which is fitting. It's almost like a baton. He took the baton before DC fought. It's almost like they passed the baton of like, oh, well, I mean, DC's probably not. I mean, maybe he'll fight again. I don't know why he would, but it's just like, you know, you can't like complain about your legacy when you haven't even shown that you're going to defend the belt.
Why don't people like me? It's like
turning down fights publicly. I don't want to fight the next in line. I want to fight a super fight. I want a money fight. This is my legacy. It's like, no, defend the fucking belt. Be the king of the heap. And, you know, if the fans want to see a super fight, that's how McGregor and Mayweather. That's how somebody with no boxing experience is fighting the best boxer ever.
Because he goes out there and
because the fans wanted it.
Puts it on the line.
Well, yeah, because the fans wanted it. And fans love Conor and love to see what he can do. And they want to see him fuck this piece of shit up. But he doesn't have any support. All he cares about, the things he talks about, are the movies he's in and the directors and the movie stars he knows. That's all he ever talks about. He's like, oh, I'm hanging out with my fucking movie star friends. That's all he wants to do. Oh, it's in this movie. There's clips. I think it was the Embedded. He's like going to fans. He's like, hey, check it out. Guess who I am? I'm the guy in that movie. Look at the clip. That's me. On his phone. Like, how narcissistic do you have to be? It's like, you're a champion. Pretend like you're a champion of a sport and not like a movie star now.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, so it's the most boring 5 rounds of MMA that I've ever seen. I feel bad for Damian Maia. I wish he had gotten more time to train. Maybe he would have been able to, you know, work on more takedowns, different types of takedowns, different ways to get in on the takedown.
He needed to work more.
I mean,
he should have been throwing leg kicks the whole time. He wasn't.
Sure. Yeah.
Because who cares?
But he didn't have. He only had a month to get in shape for this fight. He's a giant.
What happened?
He only had a. They fucking gave him the opportunity. He just fought. And they just gave him the opportunity a month out, and that's why Woodley's like, yeah, I'll fight him if it's only a month. So Maia only had a month to train for this, which he's a giant fucking welterweight.
He started out as
so it was just getting in shape.
It
was just all getting in shape. So he didn't get a chance to like do a camp where he's training the best ways to, you know, get inside on Tyron Woodley.
Sometimes you got to take the chance.
The guy that knew he was fighting Maia forever, Tyron Woodley. Because, I mean, he knows who's next. He's just the bout agreement hasn't come out or whatever. Did nothing with his training. Aside from avoiding the takedowns, that's all he did in the fight. He's like, oh, I'm avoiding takedowns. And then every once in a while I'll throw a couple things. But it's so boring.
He won the fight by avoiding takedowns.
It was boring as fuck. It was boring. He just shut Maia down, and then he didn't win the fight.
I can't believe we watched
lose
it
the fight.
Again.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make sure there was like nothing happened. Like nothing.
No.
I mean, Maia's eye got fucking inflated
in the first 5
punch,
seconds.
Yeah. But it didn't really seem to affect. I mean, it's not like Tyron was attacking him, so he was pretty fine. So moving on to the main event of the night, Daniel Cormier versus John Jones. Some people think Cormier is a good fighter and deserves to be in the pound-for-pound talk. I have never thought that at all. Because I've seen
his fighter.
Record. Sure.
He only lost once ever.
Sure, but I've seen the people he fought. Like he fought a Dan Henderson that was old as shit and way too small.
He's fought Gustafsson. He's fought Rumble twice.
Gustafsson fight is the only respectable fight that he's won. That's the only one.
Dude, he beat Rumble twice.
Okay. The second fight is the most bullshit. Oh, he won that fight. Rumble didn't fight that fight. He did the... I mean,
that's
you could
not
say
his
he won
fault, though.
For sure, but he didn't show like impressive championship ability to beat Rumble. Anybody could have beat Rumble if that's how Rumble's going to fight. Yeah. You know, like the most impressive win he has is against Gustafsson because Gustafsson's legit. He's still up in the mix. It was a tough fight, but other than that, in heavyweight, he was fighting a bunch of fucking, people that lose. They're not like salty career guys. And John Jones is, in his prime now. He's just turned 30. Yeah. He's been training for who knows how long for Cormier. I mean, he was training for Cormier before Cormier pulled out and OSP filled in, which nobody seems to bring that up. The reason why John Jones fought OSP on short notice is because Cormier pulled out of the fight.
Yeah.
He got injured, which happens a lot at his gym. But he came in on weight, had to use the towel again. Didn't cheat this time. But he made weight. He was the first one to weigh in, so I would think he was scared. He's like, well, I'll have more time to lose it. And John Jones came in half pound under. It was like the easiest weight cut he's had, he said.
Looking swole as shit.
Yeah, he looked great in the fight. I mean, it was the first 2 rounds. I mean, it was a back and forth fight.
He was landing
Jones
more.
won the first
Cormier
round.
was landing harder a few shots. Like
he was landing some shots. Yeah.
Caught him up against the cage with a good.
Never
like,
really
hurt. Well,
I mean, we've never really seen John Jones hurt.
The worst against Gustafson.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think he was ever really rocked. He was definitely exhausted
from points in that fight.
I don't know. But yeah, Cormier, won the second round, did a little bit more, got a little cocky.
Started Jones talking shit.
He blocked a couple things and thought he was Nick Diaz in there. Yeah. Was it the second round Jones was throwing all those liver kicks, or was that the beginning of the third?
The third Jones came out.
He was just working the body. I mean, he'd hit him with a few body shots, like punches to the body.
But after he realized that DC probably won round 2, Jones came out in 3 and started throwing nice.
There's no way DC wins a 5-round fight with John Jones. There's no way he can do it. He was already gassed on the third round. He's not going to make 5 rounds. Especially Jones has huge reach and was working the body from the start.
Jones looked so much bigger than him.
Yeah.
Because he bulked up.
Yeah. He wasn't lifting weights for this fight like he was before the OSP
He's still much bigger than he was.
He's
John Jones.
Older.
Yeah.
He was a kid before. He was 23.
2 years ago when they fought before. Like 2.5 years or something.
Right. Yeah.
But he definitely filled out a lot more and hits him with this fucking head kick in the third.
Well, he threw it in the second, and that's when Cormier was like, but yeah, Jones was saying he was seeing how he did it. Like, they were working on that in camp because they know he likes to move his head, and he was just waiting for the time where his hands go down when he gets tired. So he's just waiting for an opportunity and caught him with it. And Cormier, we see Cormier fucking hurt. And
he took it. Stayed on his feet.
Well, sure.
I felt like I remembered it wrong. Like when we rewatched
out.
It. Oh yeah, he was out.
He was on his feet, but he was moving back.
He was like,
and then he tried to run away. Jones kicks out his leg,
which was hilarious. Yeah. And then
he had been kicking out his leg the whole fight. Like, he had complete
that one time
control.
He just shucked him off him.
He had complete control over that front leg. Yeah. There's no way Cormier was winning this fight. There's no way.
But then lands some hellacious ground and pound. Yeah. Cormier is down for like a good 30 seconds of not moving.
Late stoppage considering it's he for sure wasn't moving for the last, like, he was just kind of convulsing for like the last 3 just powerful hits to the head.
And those were
big
the
John
shots.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
his head was
out
against the canvas.
Yeah.
And just connecting right to the chin.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cormier got knocked the fuck out.
Then he wakes up.
Yeah. And he thinks it's bullshit.
He thinks it's bullshit. He starts yelling at Dana.
Yeah.
He's like
Jones wanted to bury the hatchet. Like, even the interviews just before this, like, they were asking, he's like, yeah, it's like, once this is done, it's done. Because he knew he was going to win. It's like, what's the point in being mad at this guy? We're not doing another one.
They touched gloves before the fight, and even touched gloves like at the beginning of the first round.
Rounds.
I was surprised at that.
But Cormier was so butthurt because he didn't know he just got knocked the fuck out that he didn't want to do anything with Jones. Joe's like, okay, well, let's do this interview. But he was super respectful when Rogan asked him about Cormier. He's like, listen, he was a class act. Good dude. I see him with his people, and he seems like a good dude. But, it is what it is. And he's an old, like Cormier's 40. He just turned 30, or Cormier's almost 40, and yeah, and even in the press conference, he was, it's nice to see Jones back, and it seems like he's more, like, finally honest and not pretending to be this Christian, like, goody two shoes. And even in the post fight interview, he's like, listen, I'm gonna try to be a better person, but I'm a crazy motherfucker, so sometimes shit's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm glad he's back in the seat. Looking forward to seeing him fight Gustafsson again.
He called out Brock Lesnar at the end.
You want to talk about a super fight?
That's
crazy.
That's a money fight
out of
right
fucking potential heavyweights to call out. That's the
uber money fight.
Oh my god, that'd be ridiculous. But there's clearly going to be fights before that because Brock still has suspension and has to go through USADA and all that shit.
Well, I think Dana said it'd take 6 months from now anyway, for Brock to even clear.
Yeah. But that would be probably, I guess they would do it for the New York card at the end of the year. November? Or maybe that puts it just past November because we're past the half of the year. Because that's a big card.
It would be the New Year's card.
Yeah. Well, whatever they do in New York, that's their big card at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then they'll have another one around Super Bowl time. They usually have another big one.
Yeah.
The beginning of the year. Yeah, that'd be crazy. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to. Jones has a few people he can fight in the division. At least a couple,
Gustafsson.
Well, Gustafsson and Ozdemir. He can fight Ozdemir.
Yeah, Ozdemir's scary though.
Sure. But
But yeah,
Brock Lesnar's scary.
It ended up at the end. It was 7-5.
Yeah. So you gained.
So I won the last
face.
3.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But yeah, good win for John Jones. See if Cormier decides to actually fight again. I wouldn't mind seeing Cormier fight. Some of the other light heavyweight like Ozdemir or something like that, or Manoa.
Yeah.
But I can't see him with all his
just retire.
cushy desk jobs
Yeah.
and getting older. Yeah, just fucking retire, man. So that was UFC 214.
Especially after a devastating knockout like that.
Oh, yeah. First time he's ever
Been stopped.
Yeah.